just the beginning. Florida's leader in heart and stroke care. TheERexperts.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Giselle is going to be our producer today. She's going to be busy today. It is very rare in all the years I've done this show that there is as much activity as there is in second week of June? We normally start slowing down. We're not slowing down today. Got a lot of guests coming on, talk about a wide variety of things, and we hope that you will enjoy it. We come to you from the Gator Trim Light Studio, the place where if you're talking your landscaping, your home lighting, your yard, whatever it might be, these people can make your place look really, really good. Your pool area, same thing. Decks, landscape lighting, whatever it is, go to GatorTrimLight.com, find out what they can do for you. They're good people. They do really good work. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Been driving one for years. They've been in business for nearly 50 years. That tells you something about their longevity and about their quality. When you go see them, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you there. All of our calls, the phone line, you know it, 392-8255. That's courtesy of Titan MRI and Imaging. Same-day scheduling available. Calling for the best MRI, also affordable prices. You can find out more at TitanMRI.com. The email, srussell@wruf.com. Brought to you by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. If you want the highest quality jewelry, wedding bands, engagement rings, whatever it might be, these are the people to see. First hour of the show brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Their name says it all. Why? Because they've been serving our community since way back in 1984. Indeed, they do great work, and their name does say it all, Quality Plumbing. And all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. You can also contact us on the B&D Electric text line, 352-325-3777. You can schedule their work because it's professional, it's reliable, bdelectric.com. And got a YouTube question? Comes to you courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, serving our community for 90 years, founded on the UF campus. Facebook Live questions courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. We're going to start today by talking about what's going on in college football, and a wide variety of things are happening with that. And gentleman who's been on our show quite a bit. We always appreciate Adam Rittenberg joining us here, who covers college football for ESPN, ESPN.com. Adam, welcome. There's so many things I want to get into here, but let me start with this. The whole Sorsby thing has really flipped everything on its lid. It's sort of crystallized, some of the problems going on in the sport. Your take on this, and what eventually you think comes out of this?
Yeah, good to be with you. Yeah, it really has, because it is such an extreme version of things that we've seen in different forms over the last few years. You know, a player who wants to play, a school that wants that player to play, circumstances that suggest that player shouldn't be allowed to play, and then a judge who essentially clears the way for the player to compete, even though, you know, the NCAA and others are opposed to it. So in that context, it's very similar to some of the other situations, but it is a step further. I mean, gambling on your own sport, it definitely is seen as a line that you can cross, and a lot of people, no one's really going to have sympathy for you. I mean, I covered the situation involving the athletes at Iowa and Iowa State extensively, and that was a little bit different because it was a state-initiated raid against what they were saying was identity theft, you know, using other people's identity to make wagers, but it essentially cost a number of players eligibility for far less than what Brendan Sorsby did. So this is an issue that many are rallying around now to say this is a step too far. And then to the second part of your question, it's very hard to predict. I did not predict that this judge would actually go through with granting this injunction. So, you know, could we predict that he somehow isn't allowed to play, or that Texas Tech walks it back? Anything seems to be on the table here now that this injunction has been granted. But, you know, again, it wouldn't shock me either if Texas Tech just digs in and everybody else eventually backs off and goes and attends to their own teams, and he ends up playing for Texas Tech this year, even as remarkable and crazy as that sounded just a week ago.
Yeah, and what if, and I'm just throwing this out, Adam, what if Texas Tech plays Sorby? Could there be repercussions after the fact if he plays?
Well, you know, certainly, you know, not because of that injunction. I mean, if there is an appeal that's granted, I think that trial date for the next step in that legal proceeding is set for after the college football season is over.
Gotcha.
So, you know, there could be some retroactive stuff, but who cares, right? You got what you wanted if you're Texas Tech, which is, you know, a very talented quarterback. You're leading your team this year after they won the Big 12 and made the college football playoff for the first time. So, yeah, it really comes down to, you know, whether I think the Big 12 is the one to watch here. You know, there's been some, you know, understandable outrage, and, you know, some of it's performative, honestly. You know, the Big Ten saying they don't want to schedule Texas Tech. Okay, that's fine. They don't really schedule Texas Tech to begin with. But it really is the Big 12. If that's your conference, and if your conference is saying, hey, this is not acceptable, this is going to have some real repercussions, then Texas Tech may have to reconsider its stance, which is obviously wanting Brendan Sorsby to play quarterback for them this year. So I think that's where my interest lies, is what happens next with the Big 12. And I know their presidents are talking today, and we'll see what comes out of that. Or sorry, Thursday, I believe. We'll see what comes out of that. But I think that's the area to watch more so than what Georgia or Nebraska or some of these other schools say.
You know, there's so many things now swirling in college athletics. You almost wish that August was here. You could start playing games and put this sort of on the back burner. But next couple of months, we're going to be talking about some of these things. The thing that I get it. Congress may be involved here. You know, that could be a slippery slope. In the end here, Adam, before the season starts, before August, do you see anything meaningful happening before the season starts?
Well, as far as legislation, I mean, there does seem to be quite a lot happening, and with this Sorsby situation being another flashpoint to accelerate, you know, the possibility of federal legislation. So I think there could be things that are moving in that direction. As far as, you know, laws being signed and everything being finished, I think that's highly unlikely. But I think what's important to watch is whether the momentum around the bill that Senators Cruz and Cantwell introduced recently, you know, is that continuing from, you know, early June until you know, August and up until the season, or has that waned and Congress is focused on other things? I think that's. But yeah, to expect massive changes before this coming season with this topic, or really any topic, including the playoff, I think we've seen enough evidence to suggest that that's not something that you would hold your breath for.
I really pride myself in having some common sense, and sometimes it escapes me. But I just don't understand how people, conferences cannot come up with a playoff system that satisfies everybody. In your crystal ball, what will be the number do you think that will be agreed upon?
It's hard to say, right? I mean, there's certainly more momentum around 24 than there was when it was first introduced, I guess, at the Big Ten level late last summer, and everyone was kind of laughing and incredulous about how could you possibly even conceive of a 2014 playoff. I think your first point is really important. It's very hard for these conferences to coalesce around much of anything. And it's why we've had this talk for years. Why doesn't college football have its own governing body? Why doesn't college football have a true commissioner? And there's different takes on that. But I think what's clear to me is that the empowering of the conference commissioner has been, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, has been a massive mistake for college athletics. If you remember, you probably do, in the 70s and 80s, college conference commissioners weren't as powerful as
Correct.
They are now.
That's right.
Now, the NCAA really had clout, and you can't have a system that basically turns over its powers to parties that have individual interests. Greg Sankey ultimately works for the SEC president. Tony Petitti ultimately works for the Big Ten presidents. And they're not working for the general college football fan. And they've been empowered to dictate the playoff, and they've been empowered to try to find a solution that in theory benefits everybody, but really they're only looking out for their own conferences. And so I think that's why it's so hard. And then you have this other thing going on where you've essentially turned over the power in the sport to the athletes, their agents, and their attorneys. That's also not a way to run the sport. So I think those are the two areas that, again, I'm not smart enough to know the solution. But I think this would be much better. It would be a much better enterprise if the college commissioners were disempowered, that they didn't have so much sway over everything, because they're not looking out. Even if they say they are, and I don't think they're bad people, they're not looking out for the greater good. They're absolutely not, and they've shown that repeatedly.
I got a minute left, Adam. I have a solution, and you can feel free to crush it, okay? If college is going more and more to the NFL model, then by God, go to the NFL model, where the Cleveland Browns have the same cap as the New Orleans Saints have. I don't believe college athletics will do. I don't think individual schools are willing to say, I can't let them spend as much as I'm going to spend. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's a great idea. In theory, I think the challenge is a lot of what we're talking about would be solved by a true professional model and collective bargaining.
Yes.
Yet there's resistance from the NCAA and others that they still don't want to go there. And I just think the sooner that there's acceptance, even if there's difficulties, at this point, I'm willing to try the difficulties, because what we have right now is not a healthy sport, even though it's greatly popular and we all love the games and we're looking forward to the season and there's great drama. It's not a healthy sport. And so why not try the professional model? Even though those hurdles exist with collective bargaining and different state laws and unions and all that, at least then there's a set of rules that everyone, even if they don't like it, you have to abide by it. Because right now there's no rules, as we've seen this week.
No question. Where can people see your work, Adam?
ESPN.com, college football page. You can follow me on Twitter, or X rather, at ESPN Rittenberg.
Thanks for making the time, Adam. Always appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Steve.
You got it. Does a good job, Adam Rittenberg. Coming up next, the College World Series is coming up in Omaha, and Lance Cormier, the former big leaguer with the SEC Network, is going to join us to preview the field. That's coming up next as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jacob Whitman. Gators Outdoor Track and Field is set to compete for a national title. The Gators head to Eugene, Oregon to look to extend a 10-year streak where Florida Athletics has at least one national championship in an academic year. Track and Field is the last team remaining able to further the streak. The national championship event starts today at 5:30 p.m. Coming out of the courtroom in the wake of the Brendan Sorsby decision earlier this week, the NCAA has taken a massive hit to its credibility. ESPN college football analyst Josh Pate said the organization's time as college sports governing body is now over.
The NCAA is just kind of four letters now. Maybe it always was, and it was a poodle that barked in the microphone and convinced everyone it was a Doberman for a long time, but it's done. It's over.
Despite admitting to gambling on his own team dozens of times, a judge granted Sorsby a final year of eligibility with Texas Tech on Monday. Numerous teams across the country have said they will not play the Red Raiders if Sorsby is allowed to suit up.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trimlight is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimlight.com. That's GatorTrimlight.com. GatorTrimlight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their Philly sub with fries, thinly sliced beef cooked to perfection and topped with peppers, onions and mushrooms, and provolone cheese on a baguette.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Soccer sticker fever is here at MIAPA. Every Wednesday from 4 till 9 p.m., we're in the Fad League for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 locations. MIAPA Soccer Sticker Wednesdays from 4 till 9 p.m.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, it's Kevin Winter. Join me in the Sports Lab today at 2 on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app. We are your home for Gator sports.
Well, the College World Series, Omaha, that's all you have to say. Everybody knows what's going on there. A bunch of SEC teams are there. My pleasure to bring in Lance Cormier, big leaguer, and of course you see him on the SEC Network, also ESPN, dissecting these college games. Lance, thank you for doing this. The first thing I want to ask, you looked at the matchups. Boy, Georgia, Texas, that's, and Alabama, Oklahoma, the SEC teams going against each other. But let me ask this. Going into this series, do you take a lot of stock in if a team's playing? I mean, you have to be playing well to get here. I get it. But who's hot, who's playing? Do you take a lot of stock in that, or do you start all over again here?
No, I think you have to maintain that, obviously, because you always hear that saying of, you want to be playing your best ball when it matters most. And right now, you're not making Omaha not playing your best ball. I mean, especially we look at 7 of the 8, right, swept their super regional, which means they got it done and got it done quickly. North Carolina, the only team that extended it out against USC and needed a walk-off basically to get into Omaha. But, man, I love the fact that these teams are hot. Now, who's hotter? You just don't know. I mean, I think it's really cool on the right side when you just mentioned all 4 SEC teams. So you're talking about a massive thing for the SEC and a little mini tournament for them. But you got the powerhouses in Georgia and Texas. Georgia hasn't played any one of those teams. I think that was something that was pretty cool, too, to know that, there's no history there because the three of the teams they missed were Alabama, Oklahoma, and Georgia and Texas. So, there's no familiarity there now. There is some on the other teams, but I think that's going to be, the matchup that right now everybody's looking forward to is that Texas pitching staff, Dylan Valentis going against that Georgia lineup.
Speaking of that, you know how Omaha can be. If the wind is not blowing out, it's a bigger ballpark. Balls that are homers in some of the league venues don't go out there. Is that a concern at all for Georgia?
I think it has to be. I don't think they're going in there talking about it, but I do think it has to be a concern, especially in Wes Johnson's mind. But I mean, they played like it all year. That's what they do. I don't think there's much of a 3-run home run or die type of offense like they have been in the past. This year, they're way more well-rounded. They take their walks. They can hit behind runners. They can do that kind of stuff, but they mash with the best of them. So I don't think it's as much of a thing for him this year as it would have been the past 2 years, which I think is why they didn't make it the past couple of years, because they did live and die. But I mean, that has to be in the back of your mind, knowing you're going into a ball park that does not play like Foley Field, which not many do, but they also have the ability to do other things right. But you still have to look at, what's the dominant pitching staff? A team like Texas, a team like UNC. Bama has a much better pitching staff than they do offense. So, that's, to me, when you get to Omaha, you have to have 3 phases that play. And, again, most of these teams aren't making it into the final 8 without having all 3 phases. But when you have a majority like Georgia does and they are offensive-minded, they're going to need the pitching staff to step up.
Lance, tell me what you think the mindset of a West Virginia or a Troy is. If it's me, hey, man, we're hot. We got nothing to lose. Let's go have some fun. All that. Do you think that's the attitude they'll have going into this?
Yes, and also, hey, why not us, right? I mean,
there you go.
Heck, we've made it here. I mean, it's one of those things we've made it here. Everybody else has made it here. Now, they're not going to come out right and say it, but I'm pretty sure every single coach on that left side of the bracket feels much better because they're not into the SEC powerhouse of the right side. So, obviously, Ole Miss is there, which going into that tournament, they were, I was like, if they don't host, they're going to be one of the scariest 2 seeds that no one wants to see. And obviously that played out with them winning the Lincoln regional and going to Auburn and taking 2 quick games, even though those games were pretty close. I mean, you had tying run at the plate in both of those super regional matchups, but they feel good. UNC feels good with how their pitching staff. Troy believes as much as anything that they belong and they're going to keep winning. They play 3 phases of the game pretty well. But West Virginia, man, it was just inevitable that they were going to be there. I mean, they were knocking on the door the last 2 or 3 years, and Steve Saban's his program just I say it against Troy, and I said it in the regional and then the super regional. Like, you got two teams that, like, those are bar fight teams. Like, you get into a bar fight, you want those two teams with you, West Virginia, Troy, and so that's going to be a fun matchup, man. Like, that's going to come down to the last pitch, no doubt, because I just feel like those teams fight like nobody else.
You know, when I was doing radio here and you were in the booth next to me, I was watching the action take place, and I wanted to knock on the window and ask you this because as a pitcher, right, a big league pitcher, as you see the strike zone being called now in the college game, what are your thoughts?
It's just different. It's hard because obviously I sit in there as an analyst and you can see things. And I mean, we have TrackMan. These umpires are human. We have computerized system that show that if they make the right call or not. Like when we were in school, the zone is more of like a vertical rectangle now. When I was in school, the zone was more of a horizontal rectangle. And if you talk to most hitters, they would much rather the zone now because when if I could throw the ball as a control pitcher, if I can throw the ball 3 inches off the plate, and the umpire he would go out there with me and he would start giving me that. Like, well, hitters would go, man, like I can't even touch that. Like, much less think about swinging. I can't touch it. So at least now, for the most part, they don't give much off the plate, but you're getting the higher strike, you get the lower strike. And I think overall that's probably the most fair way to look at it is, you can't complain about it being a strike at the top of the zone if you don't swing, right?
That's right.
But if it's off the plate by 3 or 4 inches, you're like, dude, I can't even reach that, so there's no way I'm going to swing. And so it's tough. I love the ABS. I really did in the SEC tournament.
Me too.
It was super fast. The fans loved it. I think the team bought into it. I mean, I remember, obviously, I pay a lot of attention to Auburn with my son being there. But, I mean, at one point, Chase Fralick had missed all the calls. And it was like he was so nervous to make another call because he did want to continue to get it wrong. And finally, his first call he got right was when my son LJ was on the mound in the 8th inning. And it ended the inning. And, like, he threw his hands up like they had just won something. And he was like, he was so happy. And, like, so I think that's really cool. I felt like the umpires did a good job with the ABS, and now that's going to be a tough call, right? You have a lot of the SEC schools that probably can afford to take care of everything like that, but I don't think you're going to see that in the college game really soon outside of like maybe the SEC or ACC tournament and a couple post-game, maybe Omaha. I don't know if they're going to think about doing that, but it was a good run for the SEC tournament to see what it would look like. But, man, the strike zone, again, it's obviously a long answer, but I feel like the umpires do a great job at managing it. But, we are human, and if sometimes the pitcher starts, throwing the ball where he wants to and you give him a little bit, I understand it, and I'm all for it.
Last thing, does an SEC team win in Omaha?
I'm saying yes. I mean, it's hard not to, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing going into it, right? The field versus the SEC, and usually that happens. I remember with the Braves in like 2007, Chipper Jones had this like massive run of taking Tiger versus the field. When it was like when Tiger won like 7 straight golf things. I think it was like Francoeur, LaRoche, a bunch of guys. He's like, look, I'll give you the field. I'm taking Tiger. And everybody's like, absolutely. They kept taking, and Chipper went on a massive run. And I feel like that's the same thing that you can do right now. Obviously, 6 straight years, right? I think it is. And with 5 of the 8, I'm going to roll. I know we got 1 in the finals. So at least you know you got 1 that's going to be competing in the finals. And the thing about the SEC, and I think you would look at this against Florida, right, losing their regional. SEC teams are built for super regional play. The 3-game series against each other, you scout that one team and you know everything about them and you just go head-to-head. Now, like the regional, even though it could be 3 games, it's 4 different teams and it's a game here, but knowing that there's one game like the SEC is, right, the 10 gauntlet week schedule that they go through, like that's what a super regional is. They play 10, and the SEC teams that play in super regional, they play 11 super regionals this year. And if you make it to Omaha and you play in the finals, it's just another super regional. So that's why I feel like the SEC has had the success, is because they are so battle-tested in that 3-game series against that type of team, that type of atmosphere, that's why they have the success. So, yeah, I'm going SEC over the field.
All right. Appreciate you, Lance. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Lance Cormier from the SEC Network, ESPN. We'll take a break, come back. Sports Scene continues as you listen on WRUF.
The NBA playoffs play here. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants. Our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
This is Jeff Cardozo. Today at 4, tune in for the tailgate right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. Your home for Gator Sports.
All right, a little time to breathe here. Hope you enjoyed those two interviews. We will have a couple of more coming up. And tomorrow and Friday, we'll also have really good people here. Tomorrow, television play-by-play voice of the Rays, Dwayne Statz, is here. They're out in Los Angeles, and he'll be with us from there tomorrow. Also, Sean Devaney from Heavy.com will talk about NBA Finals tomorrow after the game tonight, which you can hear right here from the Garden. By the way, what the hell is wrong with New York fans? Why are you beating on Spurs fans? You have the spotlight of the sports world on you. You've had a great year. You're in the finals for the first time since '99. You have a chance to be the NBA champion. And what are people talking about today? The fact that people are just willy-nilly with somebody with a Spurs shirt on, you're beating up. What the hell is that? What is that? What does that do? That is so stupid. You're taking away what is a great, great thing for that town, for the organization, for the team, and you're pulling that. Stupid. Stupid. Hopefully something can be done about it, but I mean, that's just ridiculous that happened. Okay, I'm off the soapbox. But, I mean, it was crazy. And then Colton Sully tomorrow works for the Oklahoman. We'll talk about Oklahoma baseball and, in my opinion, their rise. When Jeff and I did the broadcast there, Florida took 2 out of 3, and Oklahoma looked bad. I mean, they looked bad. And we even thought, no, they're done. Well, guess what? They're not done. They're in Omaha. So he'll join us to talk about that tomorrow. Friday, Jeff Dancer, my buddy from Georgia, their radio play-by-play dude, will join us from Omaha to talk about them dogs. And then Mike DeRocco, the Jags, are in minicamp now. He'll give you storylines out of minicamp for the Jags. Jim Callis had to reschedule, but he's with the MLB Network. He will talk about the upcoming MLB draft. So all those folks are going to join us tomorrow and Friday and others today as well. All right. We'll open phone lines unless we get a call I'm looking for here. The Titan MRI phone line, 392-8255. International Diamond Center email is srussell@wruf.com. As the first hour of the show, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Again, if you have a YouTube question, Facebook Live question, text line question, we'll make sure that we get it. Let's go to Byron. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve. Steve, you know, I've been working about the batters this year. And, you know, the Gators and Georgia and those guys, they've been some slugfest, even the Detroit games. And I give credit to the hitters. So, you know, and I was just listening to the interview a little bit what I could catch, Steve. And I think you were talking about Texas and Georgia. And Georgia is a real great hitting team. So I'm asking you this question. And, Steve, on your opinion, and the park you were talking about is different. Do you think we have more traditional with maybe better pitching 3-2 games? The Auburn guy said, and I mention this a lot, the game you better get about 6 or 7 runs. What do you expect in this World Series from all the teams? Do you need 8 runs or your pitcher can shut somebody down and it's going to be some 3-2 games? If you was a betting man, how would you bet?
It depends on the wind. It's a big ballpark, right? Mm-hmm. And it plays big. But it plays even bigger when the wind is blowing in. And so when that happens, Byron, you don't get the home run. You don't get the 3-run homer. So that tends to keep the score down. Because, again, you're pitching in a bigger ballpark. So I don't – unless now if the wind blows out, you know, I think all bets are off. But, you know, a team like Georgia who plays in a small ballpark and they tailor – you know, they're hitting home runs because they play in a small ballpark. Will that work in Omaha? Yeah. I'm anxious to see that storyline develop.
Yeah, and to see do the scores stay up. Or you were talking, they had net with Texas, I believe. And will that pitcher? I'm interested. That's what I'm gonna be watching just to see. Can somebody shut that batting down? Steve, let me say this. Now, I'm not taking up for anything, and I didn't hear about that, but let me tell you the kind of funny thing that's going on in New York. You know the time they knocked Brunson down, Wemby, and you remember I was telling you, Steve, it's been a lot of physicality. Me and you and Coach Wise been saying this even. I think the Gators got some rough fouls, and I'm not against that, but it's getting chirpy. And it's been and so it's even been talking about Mason and those guys and Stark and those guys back in the old days. So, it's a lot of talk about the game getting physical tonight, but hopefully people not with the fans. But I hope the NBA game is clean tonight, Steve. But, boy, and Steve, I just say this. I think New York fans got too caught up in the mood of that third game, and they weren't focused on the real deal. So this game, they're going to be ready. And I'm looking for the Knicks coming on in there. But, boy, that Wemby is good, Steve. And enjoying the show, Steve, and keep up the great interviews. And I always go Gators and go with your Knicks, Steve.
Myron, thanks. Appreciate it. Who you got, by the way, tonight? I think the Knicks bounce back and win tonight. I think it took a lot of things, credit the Spurs, right? But there were a lot of fouls called on the Knicks. I'm not saying the officiating was poor. I'm just saying they fouled a lot in the game. That helped the Spurs. And I think the Spurs played looser. At home, there's pressure on you to win. Think about that. No home team's won yet. You'd think home court advantage, right? Nobody's won. That's odd. Very odd. So I think the Knicks changed that tonight. Wishful thinking, yes, but I think it's going to happen. Dustin, how about Caglione? Hit 2 homers against Langford's Rangers. I believe he has 8 or 9 homers, 18 or 19 RBI, his second 2-homer night of the majors. Okay. Langford's still hurt. He's doing a rehab, last I saw, in Double-A. And Jack's, hitting 240, 250 with the Royals. So, a lot of people thought, a lot of baseball people thought he would have a breakout year this year. And there's certainly time, for that to happen. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Jeff is there. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
When you get your baseball guy in to talk to draft, and I don't know, maybe this is too much, and he may not be an expert in this, but if he can't do it sometime soon in the next few weeks, I'd love if you could get someone to come on to break down the impending, I know people probably don't want to hear this, but what's going on with the labor situation in baseball? I heard something about a salary floor, a salary cap. Does that still mean we would have a luxury tax? I'd like to know a little bit more about what each side is thinking about and what the likelihood of a disruption to baseball.
I can answer that.
So maybe you could.
I can answer that for you.
Okay, good.
Okay, without getting into the weeds here.
Yeah.
If you just were taking it in a general sense, baseball players do not want any kind of salary cap. Period. Paragraph. End of story. Owners have submitted for the new collective bargaining agreement an agreement that does include a salary cap. I think there is a strong possibility there'll be a lockout because I just don't think
really?
I don't think they're even close.
Oh, geez. Well, okay. So we already had the expert. We didn't even need to get one.
There's a lot more to it than that. I'm just giving you the 50,000-foot view here. Because there's some specific things the owners have submitted. And, there'll be little picky points they maybe can agree on. But the elephant in the room, Jeff, is the salary cap. The owners want it. The players don't. And they're adamantly opposed to it.
One other question on that. Is the timing of it such that it could disrupt this season?
No.
Or would this lockout be triggered in the
lockout would be come beginning of next year.
Got it. One other question I wanted to have of you, and I know, did you have Coach Reese on yet? Sorry, I remember you saying
she's going to be here live in the studio on Wednesday, next Wednesday.
I'm definitely going to listen to that, I'm going to ask your opinion too, because I'm sure you haven't delved deep into it yet, but could we be facing, based on the transfer portal that we've had for soccer and women's basketball, a tremendous renaissance or turnaround? Because I'm getting that feeling on the things I read. And matter of fact, I think I read, and this is even before we got the European Center, that we were like the 15th ranked in the portal in women's this past offseason. So, I mean, what are your gut feeling? I'm feeling like there could be a big turnaround in both of those sports.
Yeah, I guess the word big, I would caution. But do I think there can be a turnaround? Yes. What spoke volumes to me was that with soccer, leaving Mississippi State, a ton of his players came with him. And
they were good.
Yeah. So, I mean, that says a lot about the coach. So, but I think Tammy's done a good job, and she'll highlight that Wednesday. Jeff, I appreciate your call. Thank you. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Just let him know that, okay? And then a former Newberry High School player who is now with the New England Patriots is going to join us. Next on Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jacob Whitman. Florida Outdoor Track and Field is headed to Eugene to compete for the National Championship. Track and Field is the last team able to further a 10-year streak where Gator Athletics has a national championship in an academic year. The event starts today at 5:30 p.m. As college football grapples with how to handle the Brennan Sorsby decision earlier this week, his draft stock likely won't be affected. ESPN insider Adam Schefter hints that NFL teams will focus more on his play than his gambling issues.
If Brennan Sorsby goes out and lights it up and is the best quarterback in college football, I'm going to guess that team's not going to be all that worried about it. And if he falls off this year, if he plays that way, I think it might be another red flag for teams.
Sorsby openly admitted to gambling on his team as a player dozens of times. College football as a whole is trying to figure out how to handle Sorsby being granted an extra year of eligibility.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation. When you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake. Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together, helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Clouds and a few peaks of sun for us today. High temperatures in the upper 80s. Feels like temperatures in the lower 90s. A breeze from the Atlantic gusting to 15 miles an hour. A few stray evening showers are possible for us, mainly east of the I-75 corridor. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, humid and warm. Lows only dropping to about the 70-degree mark. Hot tomorrow feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Almoverdi. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. You know, it's always cool when local athletes come back and they give back to their communities. And that's the case with Corey Durden, who went to Newberry High School. Of course, now in the NFL with the New England Patriots. He's back here for his second annual youth football camp. It's going to be at the Easton Newberry Sports Complex. I'll let him talk about it. Corey, man, thanks for doing this. Welcome back to town. Where'd you get the idea to do this?
It's actually funny. I don't know if you remember. Well, everybody knows Big Money Drawer One. I remember going to his camp and Adrian Peterson's camp when I was a kid, and just enjoying it and just remembering how excited I was as like a young child to be around somebody who was in the NFL. So. Just trying to kind of recreate that and giving back to the community as much as I can.
Can people still register for the camp?
Yeah, you can still register. The registry, I will have to find the links, but it's still open for people to register. I want as many kids to come. I'm giving away a game-worn signed jersey, cleats.
Oh,
cool. A bunch of other, memorabilia, maybe give away a helmet. Just try to give back.
I got to tell you, way before your time, I coached high school baseball at Newberry, Corey. So I have an affinity for Newberry High School. What was it like going there, playing at a small town, later playing big-time college athletics? Did you think playing at Newberry that you could aspire to that?
I didn't. At first, I didn't. I was lucky to obviously get recruited at I got recruited at 13. So,
wow.
I kind of knew from a really young age that I had like the potential to go to, a major school. But, I didn't know that my career would turn out how it did. And, I'd be a 4-year starter in college. So, you never really know what to expect going into it. You just kind of put your best foot forward.
Playing for the Patriots, playing in the Super Bowl, that must have been pretty cool.
Yes, sir. It was. It was a life-changing experience. Even though we lost, I enjoyed it, just being around my teammates and being around, meeting so many different people and playing on the biggest stage in football. So,
Can I ask, what was going through your, a lot of times the camera pans to the players during the national anthem. What was going through your mind right before the start of the game? Were you thinking back or were you just looking ahead to plan?
You just kind of reflect over everything, depending on everybody's career path is different in the NFL. I feel like, during the national anthems, it's normal for us as players to kind of, just kind of reflect on the things that got us here. But in a game that big, you just kind of think about everything and everybody who's had a hand in you being able to play on such a stage. So,
what do you think about all that's going on in college athletics now with NIL and, players making money and all that? What do you got any thoughts about that?
I think it's great. I think, the players deserve it. I think it needs to be regulated a little more, but I think it's great. In college, when I was in college, I didn't come from much. So, after my scholarship check and I paid all my bills, I'd have like $200-$300 to stretch for the rest of the month. So, we came from that to, guys making hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I have no ill will towards it. I think it's great. I think that they deserve it. And, I think the best players in college football should get paid.
Let me, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but after your playing days are over, would you coach? Would you want to be a coach?
I am going to coach. I want to coach at Newberry.
Do you?
I do. I want to come home and coach. I want to win at Newberry. So that's my dream since I've been a young college athlete was whether I went to the NFL or not. I always knew I was going to coach.
That is really
my
cool.
coaches changed. They changed my life in high school. I just did in different ways. It's like I feel like at that age, at the 15 to 18-year-old age, that's like the most impressionable point of a young man's life. So, I want to have a hand in the type of human beings that the kids at Newberry become once I'm done playing football.
Wow, Corey, that's really cool. I hope everybody listening heard just what he said. What an influence a coach can be, whether it's middle school, high school, whatever. Okay, I'm going to just throw this out here again. This is going to be held, the second annual youth football camp at the Easton Newberry Sports Complex in Newberry. It's designed for boys and girls ages 6 to 13. Session 1, ages 6 to 9, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Session 2, ages 10 to 13, noon to 1:30 p.m. And registration is still open. You can still go to the event.
And it's boys and girls. Everybody's welcome. It's just anybody can come. I want everybody to feel welcome. So.
Okay. Well, Corey, this is great, man. You're giving back. It's a great thing to do. Thanks for taking time to tell us about it. I wish you a lot of success with this, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
You got it, Corey. Thank you. Corey Durden. I have known the Durden family in Newberry for a long time. It's funny. Gator baseball is getting a player from Newberry. And it wasn't long ago. I hadn't been there in a long time. I drove out to the baseball field. And I coached there for 2 years. And I was happy there. I just got a job that I couldn't coach anymore. I didn't have the free time to do it. And it's amazing how it's changed. We didn't have lights then, but it's really cool to see a guy like Corey come back who's, again, dude played in the Super Bowl, right? He's coming back to Newberry, and he wants to go and coach where he grew up. That story says a lot. And with all the negative things going on today, that's a story I'm glad he had a chance to hear. Hour 1 is in the books of Sports Scene. Coming up at the top of the hour, we hope to have Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter live with us to chronicle Ole Miss's baseball run to the College World Series. And while he's here, I'm going to ask him some global questions about college athletics, too. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Ball returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions, delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, BND Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Hour 2 of Sports Scene commencing now for this Wednesday. Actually got a little rain on the way here. Need a little more of that, though. Giselle is producing today. She's been busy, and she's going to be busy this hour, too, because we have good guests coming your way here as we come to you, fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best and late model low mileage vehicles. And we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light studio. Visit GatorTrimLight.com to see what they can do for your home, your landscaping, your pool enclosure. They can even light up your home orange and blue. And it's all programmable right from your phone. How cool is that? First hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Quality Plumbing. This hour brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or late night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. You can order at GatorDominoes.com. There's a new classification or rule or whatever. Voicemail? Okay. Coming up in high school football. And we hope to have Mark Whittemore here from Buchholz to kind of talk about exactly what it is. But he will join us in a little bit as well. And again, we are hoping we can get, do we have him? I think we do. Okay. Lots of good guests coming up tomorrow and Friday. Keith Carter has a long history at Ole Miss, was a player. Now he is the athletic director, and I wanted to get his perspective on watching his baseball team work their way to Omaha, and we'll talk about some other more global things too. Keith, it's good to have you back. Welcome back, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be with you guys today.
Sometimes, like I forget this, Scott Strickland's here, you're there. As an athletic director, you hire the coaches, you see what they do. What was it like from an AD standpoint to watch the run Ole Miss baseball made with Coach Bianco to go to Omaha?
Well, I think in today's world of college athletics, we get caught up in the minutia of just, all of the junk we're dealing with and, the stuff that kind of changes every day and lawsuits and this and that. And we forget sometimes that, hey, we're in this business to help student athletes and to give them opportunities and to do those type of things. And so to see, baseball have the run that they've had and, Coach Bianco in his 26th year and just the incredible job that he's done with our program. Had some adversity this year and found the right time to get hot and play really good baseball and found our way to Omaha. That kind of brings you back to center a little bit as an athletic director and to go out on the field after our guys, have the dog pile and, get to give those guys hugs and just, you're so proud of the work that they've done. And it's not just on the field, it starts, you start thinking about, everything that a student athlete means and all the things that they go through and the things they have to deal with. And for them to have success like that is just really awesome. And then selfishly, again, it kind of brings us as administrators, back to the reason that we got in this business in the first place.
Sometimes, Keith, people want to know the journey as to how, somebody gets to be an athletic director. You played at Ole Miss. When you were playing, did you think about going into administration? How did that come about?
I really never thought much about, moving into college athletics administration, after being a student athlete. I was fortunate enough to go overseas and play for a few years. And when I got back, was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and my career. And, just kept going back to the fact that I had such an incredible experience as a student athlete, here at Ole Miss. And to be able to get back into administration and maybe be a small part of creating, that type of experience for other student athletes. And, that was intriguing to me. And so found a way to kind of get my foot in the door in major gift fundraising with our foundation. And, the good Lord has blessed us in a really great way to be able to continue to grow, my career here at Ole Miss. And, spent almost, 19 years now in the business, all at Ole Miss, which has been awesome. So it's fun to do it here at the alma mater. And there's a lot of responsibility with that. I take it very seriously because I want this place to be great. But it's been fun and we've had some success, and the hope is we can keep it rolling.
Scott Strickland has been very kind to come up here and spend an hour taking calls from Gator fans and discussing issues with him. So let me ask you, if I can, Keith, a couple of more global things here. With all of the issues, going on now in college athletics, how challenging is it to be an athletic director these days?
It's pretty challenging. I was telling somebody the other day, I got this job in 2019 in November of 19. And, the things that, 70% of the things that we work on today didn't even exist then, and it's kind of crazy to think about over just a 6 or 7 year period, how much things have changed. But, I still am very optimistic about college athletics. There are days when you want to kind of pull your hair out and you're not sure if you're making a lot of progress. And I think we've been a little bit in this kind of neutral mode, with just, a lot of gray and not knowing what the rules are going to be, whether it's with, eligibility or whether it's with the portal or whether it's with, you name it in the world that we're living in. But I think we're in a good spot, and I think that, ultimately there may be a few more bumps in the road before we get to an end product. But again, back to what I said before, I still believe in our young people. We have 425 student athletes that, still are those great young men and young women that want to come and get a degree and play hard in the sport that they love. And a lot of that is still the same, even though, some of these headlines may not seem like that. So I'm optimistic about the future of college athletics. Obviously, the popularity of, our sports has never been greater. The viewership, shows that and the attendance shows that and those type of things. So a lot to be thankful for and hopeful for, but certainly a lot of work to do, to get us to a better place than we're in right now.
If you could be a commissioner, Keith, or you could, have things, it's just, and again, it's hard when you sit in my seat versus your seat. They're two totally different things. But, not coming to a conclusion on, how many teams in a football playoff, all the issues that are still out there. Where do you think this is going to go? If I said to look into your crystal ball, do you think Congress is going to get involved here to where there'll be something legislatively done? Where do you think this is all going to be headed?
Yeah, I think as we've talked about this over the past couple of years, there's kind of two roads that you can go down to have, the protections that you need to run a membership, in the way that you would want to. And one is the congressional pathway. I think with the Cruz and Cantwell legislation, that came out last week, I think there's some good things in there, obviously. But obviously I think there's some things that need to be tweaked, and I know that there's a lot of discussion around that bill right now. And our hope would be that, maybe that pathway does work. Now, I also believe that when you bring in, the federal government to help you regulate college athletics, there's some risk there, and some, that's a little scary too. The other path is do we go down the path of collective bargaining and start to look more like pro sports in some ways? I mean, we already look more like pro sports, and I guess one way of thinking about it is unless you get both sides at the table and figure out a deal that works for both sides, are you ever really going to have that certainty that you need and the rules, you be able to enforce the rules like you want to. So, again, I think there's a lot of smart people that are working on this. I sit obviously in the AD room with the SEC guys, and, I'm very encouraged by some of the thoughts and the discussion that we have. Commissioner Sankey's been awesome, obviously. So, I think that we're going to end up in a good spot. I think we're going to be able to, save what we all love about college athletics at some point. But again, I'm just not sure that that's going to happen overnight. We're going to have to put in the work and roll up our sleeves and get it done.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Keith, I appreciate it. By the way, good luck to Ole Miss. Coach Bianco has been kind enough to come on the show here numerous times, and great run. You going to go out there?
Yeah, we're heading up Friday, and the last time we were out there in 22, we stayed for 11 days. So that's our plan again.
Yeah, you did. You stayed for a while that year, no doubt about it. Keith, thank you for doing this. Appreciate you.
Yep, thank you so much.
You got it. Keith Carter, live with us, the athletic director at Ole Miss, as his team, his baseball team, gets set to go out there and compete in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, our, I think, final interview of the day, Buchholz football coach Mark Whittemore is going to try and explain a new proposal by the FHSAA for the high school football playoffs. He's next as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jacob Whitman. The NCAA is facing a crisis of enforcement in the wake of the Brennan Sorsby decision. Former athletic director Joe Castiglione says he's unsure what the college sports governing body can actually do now.
We cannot make and enforce rules of our organization, because every one of them is now challenged in any court that a person wants to bring the challenge can go before.
Teams across the country have said they will not schedule games versus Texas Tech if Sorsby is allowed to play this coming season. In other news, big changes are coming to high school football this season. The FHSAA approved the creation of an open division bracket for the state championship playoffs. Under the new system, the top 8 teams, as ranked by MaxPreps and regardless of classification, will compete against each other for a single state championship. The format will also be put into place for 10 other high school sports.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho! You think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Soccer's biggest tournament and biggest stars are coming to Florida this summer. And the place to bet it all is on Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Isn't there a saying, the only constant is change? Well, it's like that with the Florida High School Activities Association, and there is a new football independent league that's being talked about, maybe a different way to have teams in the playoffs. So I talked to somebody and called somebody that I know would know about it. He's Buchholz's head coach, Mark Whittemore. He joins us live here on Sports Scene on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. Mark, welcome. I'll let you take the ball here because I'm a little bit confused about this. So make me unconfused. What is the new thing here?
Well, thanks for having me, Steve.
Sure.
Appreciate you reaching out. I'm excited about this ruling by the FHSAA. The kind of thought process with this, and it goes across most team sports. Okay, so you're not just picturing this for football; you're picturing it for basketball and baseball and others as well.
Okay.
They take the top 8 teams regardless of classification. All right. So last year, I think we were ranked 8th as a football team. The baseball team was ranked, I don't know, 6th or who knows what they were ranked at the end of the season. And you take those top 8. So one could be in 2A, one could be in 3A, and then they play their own championship series with 8 teams. Everybody else filters down into the normal playoff. So the thought process is, and I think the biggest kind of selling point was you take some of these schools that are perennial powers that have resources and other things going for them, and you place them in kind of a big boy playoff, for lack of a better term.
A super playoff, if you will.
Yeah, sure. Kind of like the NCAA, has the 12-team playoff.
Okay.
The difference here is we don't have bowl games; we have playoffs. So, anyways, that's kind of the thought process here.
Let me make sure I'm understanding this, and if I'm wrong, just please tell me, Mark. So, I get the point that let's say Hawthorne, right, is having a great year, and MaxPreps says they're one of the top teams, so they could play a 6A or a 7A team in this new format.
That's right.
So the other schools, let's just take 2A. The other 2A schools, if there's no 2A schools in this, then they would play the way they've normally played to come up with a 2A champion. Is that right?
That's right. So you're only culling the top 8 teams regardless of classification. And I believe, Steve, it is the MaxPreps ranking.
It is.
So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that you could say to counter this move. One would be, what if you just have kind of a one-hit wonder with a school that's just having a great year, has a great class of kids, and they've never even, kind of really sniffed that rare air and Cinderella story, if you will. Are you going to put them with with St. Thomas Aquinas type thing?
Yeah.
But the argument to that is, hey, to be ranked that high, you had to have played some pretty good competition. Say if you're a 3A school, you should have played some really good competition to prove that you belong in that 8.
That was my next question. I mean, we've talked for years, Mark, about scheduling, right? And you guys play, a really good schedule. So if you aspire, if you're a 3A school or whoever, right, and you want to aspire to be this, well, then you have to play, I would think, better schools to get a resume builder. And that's a slippery slope too. If you lose, how will MaxPreps look at that? Hey, we lost by 2. If you're a 3A school, we lost by 2 to a 7A school. Okay.
Well, but they do take that into consideration in their rankings.
Yes.
And so the answer to your question, you have to play a really tough schedule to be one of those 8. And so you might be a 10-0 team, Steve, but you might be ranked 30th because your strength schedule just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
So I think there is that protective mechanism there.
Does this have alter districts, regionals, anything? Does it alter who you play at all?
Well, for us in our league, which now we have 6As, so we're the second biggest, which is 5. For us, it will probably, if you look at just your perennial powers, it will probably cull St. Thomas out of there, which, for us, they have knocked us out of the, going to the dance before. So we felt that pain. But, like I said, we've also been ranked there at the tail end of that deal, which, if you're the 7 or 8 team, it's kind of like, it's exciting to be able to go play in that competitive format, but you're also foregoing the chance to maybe be that state champ. For us, it would be the second time in our history.
Yep. Buchholz football coach Mark Whittemore joining us here, talking about the FHSAA's discussion for a new football independent league. Will there be divisions, Mark, within the independent league?
Now, you're talking about the independent league now, not the playoffs.
Correct. I was going to switch. Yes.
Yeah. Steve, we're going to see how this thing grows legs, because
I like that.
A lot of the impetus for this came about up in the Panhandle. All right. So, some really, really good football programs up there, in the Chipley area, up there where there's a lot of good 1A teams. They felt like that they were at a competitive disadvantage versus some other powerhouses that they couldn't seem to crack the code. Okay. You follow me there?
I do.
And they saw it as a virtual impossibility to crack the code. So you're sitting there in Chipley, Florida, and you're saying there is no earthly way that we can even pull this off. And that was the kind of big push amongst those smaller schools for this independent league. For schools like us, Steve, East Side, Gainesville High, we're gonna continue to operate.
Yep.
The same way we always have. So really, I see the independent league as being more of a small school push.
Okay.
That's how I read it, and that's how I think it's going to play out moving forward.
But it doesn't preclude a smaller school, if they're good enough, from going into the playoff, right?
No, because they'll still be ranked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it would not preclude them. Okay. All
right.
right. I'm just trying to ask these questions for people who are listening, because if I'm a little bit confused, I'm sure other people are confused. So that's why I had you here. But do you like this? Do you like this idea? Is it a good idea?
It's like I said to you a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about some of the legislation that was passed down.
Yeah.
I like ideas, and I like, Florida football and everything has done a lot of things over the past 60 years. If you remember, there didn't even used to be a playoff.
Right.
You were ranked and you either won or you didn't win. I think actually Gainesville High's 1980 championship under Nye Black, I don't think that was a playoff system. I can't remember. But, the playoff system is relatively new. It morphed to allow 2 teams from each district. So you had a winner and a runner-up. So, we're always trying to get better. I don't think that this, whether it's, whether we turn around 3 years from now and say it was bad or good, I just like the fact that we're being innovative and we're trying to answer questions. So I applaud FHSAA for being proactive here,
Okay. I always appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for doing this. And before long, we'll be talking camp, getting ready for the season. Not too far away.
Yeah, man. It's coming. Steve, really appreciate it. You know that you're the GOAT, so take care of yourself.
I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you. Mark Whittemore, the head football coach at Buchholz. And again, look, It's confusing a little bit, but I see what they're trying to do, and we'll see if it in fact works. By the way, thank you for the emails. I didn't know, last time I saw Wyatt Langford was on doing a rehab assignment. He's back now. A couple of people had let me know that, so thank you for letting me know that. Appreciate it. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll open the phone lines for the rest of the day, emails, whatever you have. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at MIAPA. Every Wednesday from 4 till 9 p.m., we're in the Fad League for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 locations. MIAPA Soccer Sticker Wednesdays from 4 till 9 p.m.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Robin Williams, God bless you. Mrs. Doubtfire. Every time I hear that song, I think of that scene where they're jumping on the furniture and food's all over the place, and pretty cool. All right, we have time for you. I hope you have time for me. Let us talk some sports. 392-8255. You can email the show, srussell@wruf.com. Don't forget tonight, Game 4 NBA Finals right here from the Garden. Knicks are up 2-1, and coverage begins here tonight at 7:30. I probably have given the Knicks the kiss of death because I picked them to win. But I think they're going to bounce back. But I said this when they were up 2-0. Spurs are good. I mean, you don't get to the final because you're bad, right? And it's very, very hard to win. All right, I got a couple of emails here. By the way, let me just say this. The chair of the presidents and chancellors of the SEC had a video conference with Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, who are doing that Protect College Sports Act. And they put out a statement saying they were, quote, particularly encouraged that today's conversation affirmed a shared understanding of what will be required to secure a sustainable future for college sports, delivering the stability and certainty that our student athletes deserve and our fans want, unquote. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong in this case. But man, I think this is not going to happen anytime soon. It is time to adopt the NFL model. It is time to collectively bargain with student athletes. The NFL model is arguably the most successful model in sports, right? Why not? You've already gone to a lot of it. When I was in college, you sure as heck didn't have a general manager. You do now, okay? And what is that job? That job is to look at NIL. That job is to how much do we pay this dude or dudette, so whatever it might be. I just don't know if schools could say, this is the amount of money we have to spend. And that's it. I don't think that will happen. I just don't believe that schools want to limit themselves, if you will. William emailed me yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get to it. He said about the whole Sorsby thing, this can be solved very quickly, refuse to play Texas Tech. Well, some schools have already said that. But I wonder what you do within your league, right? What does the Big 12 do? Supposing a team in the Big 12 says, I'm not playing them. Then what? What happens? I don't know. But, I mean, that is, we've already seen some schools discuss that. Okay, I have another email here, International Diamond Center email. Paul, who do you like in the College World Series? I will tell you that Friday. The team that scares me is Texas. They're kind of been, Georgia's had a great year. Give them all the credit in the world. And we didn't see Texas this year. But they're the team that kind of, I don't know that I'd want to face. But remember, it's a short series. I mean, it's what happens on that day. That's the beauty of all of this. By the way, today, we've not had any YouTube questions, no Facebook Live questions, no text questions. How come? Nothing. How come? Where you been? Right? I mean, I hope you appreciate the interviews. That's why I do them, because of this. Not one NBA discussion today. Not one. But the finals. Crazy. William, hope all's well. Going to ask you what you think of Cordes' domination as number one in women's golf. Do you think she's a player that'll grow the game on the women's side like Tiger did? Maybe. If she keeps winning and dominating like that, William, I think there's a really good chance can do that. By the way, there's 17,000 organizations here. The National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association unveiled its All-America teams. Aiden King, first team. Caden McDonald, second team. Congratulations to them. And Taylor Black is leaving the Gator program. Great dude. I'll miss both those guys. As Florida now retools here going forward. Let's go to Bernard. Bernard, hello.
Good, Steve. You had Jeff on earlier this week. You mentioned about the guy leaving in the pitching coach, and I was surprised that Jeff kind of, said that he felt like maybe I can't exact term, Sully was passing the buck, because isn't Sully expertise in pitching? And it's like when I talk to my friend, head football coach, if you're a defensive guy, your defense needs to be good. And the same thing for offense. Jeff kind of said that he didn't understand why that Cobb guy had been let go. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, he didn't say he didn't understand it. That's not what he said.
Okay.
But I will also say this. If I'm a head coach, let's say football, okay, and my expertise is defense.
Yes.
Who gets fired? Defensive coordinator or the head coach?
Well, the head coach is going to save his own neck
Well,
and get rid of the
but the answer to the question is the defensive coordinator gets fired.
Correct.
So even though a head coach's expertise might be in pitching, the pitching coach is going to get let go, not the head coach. That's just how that works.
See, you were talking about that NFL model. To me, that NFL model is kind of like Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. Brilliant, and whoever did it need to constantly get pat on the back. In them NFL teams, you have a close-knit circle. I don't see that in college football because everybody's going to be for the model until it gets down to them. In college football, you have this booster, that booster that's trying to give this player that for whatever reason. You don't have that in pro football.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's called an agent.
Yeah.
That's exactly the agent's job, Bernard.
To do what?
To get their client money.
Well, I understand that, Steve, but it works better for whatever reason. But you may know that in the NFL. Well, let's talk about an agent for a kid in college.
Sure.
It was interesting. You had the guy from Ole Miss, and I can't get out of my mind the Clemson situation. Luke Farrell leaves California and signs the NIL deal with Clemson. Not only did he sign that deal with Clemson, he's actually enrolled in school, and then he bolts Clemson and goes to Ole Miss. That doesn't happen in the national with the agent. An agent can't sign a guy in the NFL and say, hey, the LA Charger offer you more money, so let's pack your bag and go to the Charger.
Yes, they do. That's called free agency. In free agency, now, not when you're with a team. If that's where you're going, I'm with you. Yes. Right.
This guy was with me. Okay.
But that's what's got to change. That's what's got to change. That's why I'm saying you go to the NFL model, that crap doesn't happen.
I agree with you 100%, Steve. But with these college programs, everybody's going to be for the model until it gets down to them, and you have to make a decision on them. Everybody's for the model until it becomes in their own best interest.
But what's got to happen, Bernard, what's got to happen is, and I'm using the NFL as an example, okay, they all got together and said, this is the best thing for our sport. And they abide by it. And they abide by it.
Absolutely. They deserve credit for that. Steve, if you can get the colleges to do that, you deserve to be a trillionaire. A trillionaire. The other thing is this, Steve. I don't fault the NCAA. The NCAA makes rulings, and the next thing you do, these schools go and try to get a favorable court. So what can the NCAA in this country? You are allowed. You have the right to go to court, and that's what the people do. Steve, you take care and have a good one. Okay?
Yes, sir, Bernard. Thank you. Yep. By the way, if you're looking for a terrific bank, how about Gala Bank? It's Gainesville's only local bank. They are locally owned and operated. They have over 350 years of combined experience, and they will help you do banking the right way. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets. Need a check cashed? Walk in the door. They will cash it for you. They're at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. They're a member FDIC. Gala Bank. Try them today. We'll take a break, come back. Our last segment coming up. Still time to hear from you. And we'll give you tomorrow's guest list, at least as we know it now, as you're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Tori Kitchens. Florida's last shot at a national championship this athletic year starts this afternoon in Eugene. The Gators have over 24 athletes taking part in the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Power conferences across college football, including the SEC, are mulling over how to deal with Texas Tech in the Brendan Sorsby situation. Tim Murray of the Vegas Stats and Information Network says what happens next could be catastrophic for college sports.
This is so cut and dry. He bet on his team. He was on the Indiana roster when he bet on Indiana. What are we doing? It opens up this can of worms of if this is allowed, what else is allowed?
Teams across the country have said they will not schedule against Texas Tech if Sorsby is allowed to play this season. The Big 12 is meeting Thursday to discuss possible options.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today. High temperatures in the lower 90s. Feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. We'll have a chance for showers and thunderstorms across interior north central Florida this afternoon and into the start of the evening. Then overnight, decreasing clouds, warm low temperatures in the low to mid 70s. We repeat the pattern tomorrow with temperatures hot early in the low 90s and a chance for afternoon storms. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Well, we did get a YouTube comment, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Giselle said, somebody applauded me for calling out Knicks fans. Well, they needed to be called out. That's nonsense. International Diamond Center email, Peyton, when you say the NFL model, do you also mean to reduce the schools down to about 50 or so, have the UTEPs and New Mexicos of the world left out? Yes, I do. However, if you can raise the money necessary to be in there, then come on in. Tampa Mike said he heard Buchholz's coach talk about the 80 GHS state championship. It was through a playoff system, he says. They won 3 playoff games before beating Titusville in the title game. He thinks the football playoff system started in the 70s. Basketball has always had playoffs going way back. Thank you, Tampa Mike. And I should have remembered that because Coach Nyblack, I think I did a game of that championship, if memory serves me right. But yeah, it's one of those things. Tomorrow, in the next couple of days, we have a very good guest list coming up for you. Don't forget, next Wednesday in the 1 o'clock hour, new women's basketball coach Tammy Reese will be in studio here. And she will take your questions, calls, and comments and talk about her team. Tomorrow, if all goes the way it's supposed to, Dwayne Statz, television play-by-play voice for the Rays, will join us from Los Angeles, where the Rays are going to go out. Michael Katz will talk more specifically about Ole Miss baseball and what it will take for them to win in Omaha. Sean Devaney, Heavy.com, will talk NBA Finals tomorrow after the Knicks game tonight. Colton Sully, who covers Oklahoma for the Oklahoman, will chronicle Oklahoma's rise from the ashes to get to the College World Series. Friday, Jeff Dantzler, radio voice for Georgia Baseball, will join us from Omaha. Jim Callis from the MLB Network will talk about the MLB Draft. Mike Duraco, who covers the Jags for ESPN and ESPN.com, will talk about Jags minicamp, what we are seeing there. And we're working on a couple of other guests, too, to close out the week. It's been a very busy week here. And, of course, the World Cup will be starting soon as well. So lots going on for sure. Today, again, want to thank Lance Cormier for being here from ESPN and the SEC Network talking about the College World Series. Adam Rittenberg from ESPN talking a little college football with us. Buchholz coach Mark Whittemore, football coach Mark Whittemore, talking about the new playoff system with the FHSAA. The Ole Miss athletic director Keith Carter joining us live as well. And then Corey Durden former Newberry player, now with the Patriots. He's going to have a little get-together this weekend. He's having a clinic. Always good to see him give back, and that's going to be happening this weekend. So all those peeps were on with us today, and really appreciate all of them being here. Don't forget, make sure to check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF Facebook and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. And again, I want to thank Domino's, Gator Domino's, for sponsoring hour 2 of the show today. By the way, a big shout out to all of our sponsors. If you want to join the team, we'd love to have you. Just contact Freddie, 352-284-3733, and we will make that happen for you. I have 2 more emails, and then we will say goodbye. International Diamond Center email from Eddie. Said, Steve, I love the show. He said, where do you get all the guests that you get? Boy. You know, when you do this a long time, you meet people. And I hope I've treated guests right. You know, I get them on. Certainly, I learn things, but I do that for you all who are listening, right? Because I think that's important. And I've always appreciated knowledge. I just think knowledge is power. And it's just so good when people like that come on and can get into things like that. And final email from Chuck. He asked the same thing. I will give you my World Series prediction Friday. And by the way, we will have the College World Series live for you here beginning on Friday. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and we look forward to that. But for now, that's going to do it for Sports Scene for today. Thanks to Giselle for doing a great job producing. And as always, we thank you for participating and being part of the program. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. Do not go away. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Steve Russell on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always